Okay, now it's time to show you how to store the data extracted inside MongoDB. MongoDB is a NoSQL database. Here, the data objects are stored as separate documents inside a collection, instead of storing the data into the columns and rows of a traditional relational database. To store data in MongoDB, first you have to create a free account. So go to mongodb.com/cloud and then click on the button Try MongoDB Cloud Now to create an account. So in this case, I'm going to sign up with Google. If you signed up with Google, you should see this page now. Now I'm going to accept the terms of service. And now you should see this welcome page that tells you that you just created your MongoDB account on the cloud. So after this, you should see this page. Here I'm going to choose just Python, and then I'm going to leave the other boxes as it is. So I'm going to click continue, and now the website is asking me to choose a path or a plan to create my account. So in this case, I'm going to choose the free option. Now we have 4 options. So let's choose the one that says MD Sandbox, so we get free storage. Now I click on MD Sandbox and then I click on continue. After this, you should see this page, and on the lower left corner you should see a message that says cluster provisioning. This process will take 3 to 5 minutes, so you just have to wait until this is finished. Now, in the meantime, we're going to install 2 libraries that will need to store data in MongoDB. So to install them, we write conda install, and then we write pymongo and dns python. Then we write hyphen and y, and then we press enter. Now we wait till the installation process is finished, and once this is done, we go to PyCharm to create the class that will help us store data in MongoDB. So now here we delete the last name we had, that was Spider Tutorial Pipeline, and we replace it for MongoDB pipeline. And now we import pymongo. Now the first thing we're going to do is to connect to the cluster we just created. So I'm going to create a variable called self.client, which is equal to pymongo.mongoClient. The Mongo client takes as an argument a special string we'll take later from our MongoDB account. For now, I'm going to leave it as an empty string. Next, I'm going to set self.db equal to self.client with parentheses. Inside parentheses, we should write a database name. This database will be created when the spider is opened. As an example, I'm going to create a database named my_database. Then inside the closed spider method, we only have to close the connection to the database. So we write self.client.close parentheses. Finally, inside the process _item, we're going to insert each item script in the database. So we write self.db square brackets. Then we need to set a name to the collection in which we want to store the script items. So let's create a variable called collection_name, and I'm going to write equal to transcripts. Now inside the square brackets we call self.collection_name, and to insert the item being scraped we use the insert method. As an argument we pass the item we want to insert. This item variable is already considered as an argument of the function process_item, so we just reduce this item variable. So now we go back to the browser to see if the process was finished, and we see a message that says your cluster has finished provisioning. Apparently the process finished successfully. So now I'm going to database access, and now I click on add new database user. So here we go to password authentication, and we write a username and a password. So I'm going to write my name, Frank, and the password will be the same, Frank. And then we go to the section that says database user privilege. So here we have to make sure that in the dropdown we choose the option that says read and write in any database. Then we click on add user, and that's it. So the next section we're going to visit is the network access. So we click on it, and then we click on add IP address. Then we're going to write the following IP address to allow access to the database from anywhere. So we write 0.0.0.0/0, and then we click submit, and that's it. Finally, to get the string we need for our Mongo client, we go to clusters, and then we click on connect. Then we go to the option connect your application, and then we'll see this window. Then we choose on server Python and on version 3.6 or later, because that's the version of Python that is running on my machine. Then you see a string that you should copy and paste in the Mongo client. So I'm going to copy this and go back to PyCharm, and here I'm going to paste it inside the quotes. So I have this string, and now we have to replace the password for the actual password we set before. So I'm going to delete the password with the signs on left and on the right, and instead of this I'm going to write my name because that's the password I set before. So my username is Frank and the password is Frank. In your case you should put your password, and well, your username is already written, so it's okay. Finally, I'm going to the spider file to remember what we're going to scrape. So as you might remember, this is a transcripts spider that scrapes the title, the plot, transcript, URL, and well, the user agent that we set before, but we're going to comment this out, and then I'm going to uncomment the transcript. So we store this also in the MongoDB database. Now, before we run this spider, we're going to edit the items pipeline that we set in the settings.py file. So I'm going to settings.py, and now I'm going to edit this item_pipelines. So I'm going to copy MongoDB pipelines, and I'm going to replace for spider tutorial pipeline, which is the default name of the project I had. So now everything is set to run the spider. I'm going back to the terminal. I clean this, and now I'm going to write the command scrapey crawl transcripts. So now I press enter and I wait till this is finished. So now everything is done, and now I'm going back to the browser, and we're going to see if the data was stored in the database I created. So here in clusters, we click on the button that says collections. So now you should see the name of the database you created, and inside it you should see the data scraped. For example, I have here the title, the plot, and the transcript. And here I can navigate through the elements scraped. So as you can see, 47 elements were scraped, and the transcript element is an array. But you still can see the content inside it, because apparently MongoDB supports arrays. However, SQLite, which is the next database we're going to see in the next video, doesn't support this. So I'm going to show you in the next video how to turn arrays into strings, and also how to store data into SQLite. So I'll see you on the next video.